Sleepy Joe for a second, and really not so much about Sleepy Joe and his latest antics and, his quote-unquote loss of 85,000 jobs and millions of people. Millions of people have died. I mean, oh my goodness. How in the world is this guy the nominee for the President of the United States, right? And that's really what the issue is, and we'll go back to what he says in a second, but let's talk about it. It's because the people at the top have such disdain for the general public that they have treated us like children now for generations. And this is just the latest in-your-face move to see how far they can push the goalpost. The predator class, I want to make this very clear, has no respect for you and your family. If this whole ordeal has not shown you that, I do not know what to say, right? Let's be honest right now. I mean, let's talk about it for a second and thumb this video up. The man visibly has now had massive senility and dementia on camera for probably 6 months to a year. If there's anybody that would disagree with me, I am sure that I could pull a clip of him from a year ago or so, and it would be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, on top of that sleaziness, let's talk about the multiple videos, multitude of videos and actions where he has treated women and children rather disturbingly on camera. I'll leave it at that. Right? All these things would have buried people that weren't Joe Biden for some reason. But because back in the day when he was sharp, he was Joey B, and he covered up things like the ISI connection, the Pakistani connection to 9/11, well, then he's a cool dude, right? Well, then we got to protect him. And I promise you, the media will never, ever point out that Biden basically bragged about meeting with one of the money men behind the hijackers. There's a lot of news today, that the FBI accidentally leaked a Saudi name in relationship with Khalid al-Mihdhar. Well, look, we know from the Dark Overlord documents that the testimony of James Woods says that Khalid al-Mihdhar was supposedly doing a dry run of Flight 11, when he's supposed to be the lead hijacker on 175, by the way, but doing a dry run on Flight 11 with I don't want to. It might have been Ziad Jarrah, but I don't want to commit to that one. But you need to look into that, man. Actually, and he ends up going. He's the lead on 77 that goes into the Pentagon, Khalid al-Mihdhar. He's not supposed to be the hijacker or on the plane of 11. But that's never going to come out in the mainstream. The Dark Overlord also talked about the Pakistani connection. That's not going to come out in the mainstream. Omar Saeed Sheikh, the guy behind the Daniel Pearl killing and the facilitator of the funds between the head of the Pakistani ISI, General Mahmoud Ahmed, who Biden met with and bragged about meeting with on TV, right? He just got let off. $100,000 wire to Atta. Thumbs this video up with 32 thumbs. Let's double that. Come on. So I just want to say that shows how much disdain they have for the general public. They'll literally put somebody up there that his eyes are closed. That's why we're calling him Sleepy Joe, right? His eyes are closed most of the time. So he just said 85,000 jobs were lost. They were lost, I think, the day before anything was really even locked down. 85,000 jobs. That was already in the works, buddy. 85,000 jobs in the blink of an eye. No, millions of jobs. Tens of millions of jobs. Tens of millions of jobs that don't look like they're going to come back, by the way. But we'll continue on, right? It's old Sleepy Joe. And then he says, millions of people are dead. No, they're not. No, they're not. And you know that I have not played down the severity of this virus. I'm one of the few people that want people to understand there is a reality to it. And you better realize that if for some reason you or one of your loved ones does come down with a bad bout of it somewhere down the line, because I don't see this going away, you know how to treat your body. You get to decide what treatment you want to take and whether or not you ever want to be put on a ventilator. Okay? I think that's very, very fair. So, Sleepy Joe being put out there because, again, they have no respect for you. Zero. Zip. Now think about this. And everybody knows I'm not a MAGA guy. But on the flip side, every time I turn on some political pundit or I'm on Twitter, they keep propagating the whole, oh, he said you're gonna have to drink bleach and inject Lysol. Can you imagine if Trump went up there and said that 85,000 jobs were lost and millions of people were dead, how relentless the media would be on him amongst the other dozen plus gas. I mean, Ukraine Gate, which was real, instead they flipped it and they impeached the guy. But at the same time, I know a lot of you guys are really hoping for some kind of a, you know, deep state takedown and everybody's going down. I don't think so. I think you're going to get a select few and they're probably going to be like Peter Strzok, you know. Someone will have to be Scooter Libby for sure. You know what I'm saying? But down the line, that person will get pardoned just like Scooter Libby did. By Trump, by the way. For those that don't get that analogy, remember in the Cheney regime, and here's the thing. During the Cheney regime, as I like to call it, George W. Bush presidency, but really he mentored Cheney. George H.W. Bush did, okay? During that era of corruption, a guy named Scooter Libby was kind of thrown to the wolves during the Enron scandals, etc. And he's basically his right-hand man. He's portrayed in Cheney, goes to jail, never gets the pardon until Trump, okay? And yeah, he's a crooked dude, but at the time, guys like Tom Flacco and others in the quote-unquote 9/11 truth movement were saying that this was it. This was the deep state takedown. This was just the first indictment. There were sealed indictments. Dick Cheney and George Bush and the cabal were gonna go down. And guys, just never happened. Just never happened. Instead, we have these cycles of faces that make little to no decisions, and then you have the permanent state that's left behind that grooms people like James Clapper and John Brennan to run Obamagate type operations. But remember, that's not the brainchild of Obama. That's just him okaying it. Okay, that's not like it was his op. I can promise you that, guys. It's not how it works. So, as a lot of you know, I'm making my New York exodus, even though, everybody doesn't understand. I'm not in New York City anyway, but it's gorgeous out here. Oh, man, we just keep dropping out. And anyway, my town is about to be eviscerated. A lot of people don't understand that. I understand it. So I am making my exodus, especially with the 17,000 tracing, the track trace force and the social distancing ambassadors downstate, because that's just not going to fly here. Apparently, Cuomo is about to open the beaches because everybody else on the East Coast is, right? And they're supposed to be at 50% capacity. Do you think that's actually going to happen? No. So if you watch my Rand Paul retro video from last night, then you know that I've been thinking about Fargo, North Dakota. Well, I just checked out Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I think I'm going to check that out too. So I'm going to, 4 or 5 places, I think, along the way, somewhere in the Midwest. We're gonna drive out to each of them. We're gonna spend a couple days there, live streaming like this, talking about the news, I guess, talking about my experiences there, and we're gonna pick one. It's got to happen. All right. So thumbs this video up. Like, subscribe, and share. And guys, I'm just gonna make this brief, but Karma's not doing well. I'm taking her in tomorrow. I love her very much, and this was a hard one even just to talk about. So. Probably not going to be doing too many videos in the next couple days, take it to myself, but I just want to say I love you guys, and I'll see you later.